I think one of the things that we don't talk about enough, as adults, is safeguarding children and specifically safeguarding a child's financial health and well being. And one of the things that I don't hear too many people talking about, it doesn't mean that they don't necessarily do it, but as parents who steal money from their children, and this can happen in a number of ways. And by the way, I'm Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I think this happens in a number of ways, and where children are harmed tremendously through finances for their lives, right? And I think this happens. I've seen this happen where, you know, parents have, taken their child's social security number when their child is still a minor and established credit and things like that under that child's name, and just sort of, already given that child bad credit by, fraudulently stealing their social security numbers. I think there's parents, I've worked with clients whose parents have stolen from them in terms of they've stolen their credit card or they've stolen their identity as an adult. And then they expect their children to then, take care of it and pay them back and not be worried about it, or it's no big deal. And I think another way that parents steal from their children, I mean, there's so many, right? But I think another way is, when, and I'll share one other one that I encountered with a person who was close to me. But when parents, they're supposed to be executors of trust funds or estates, and they sort of squander their the underage child's money. And then I had a person that was close to me, when we were in college, when we were in undergrad college. The student loans right now is a big hot topic, but his parents had taken out a bunch of student loan debt in his name without his knowledge. And it wasn't until he was, trying to move on with his life that he found out that, his parents had, harmed him financially. So I think it needs to be talked about. I also think that there needs to be more severe repercussions, especially when you talk about things like trusts and things like that. Because you can basically have someone who's an executor, and that's not really necessarily managed or monitored by someone. So there's been some famous movie stars who've worked in the movie business for years, and when they become of age, to find out that their parents have squandered their money. So there needs to be more rights around that. That is definitely a form of abuse. It also, to me, it signifies that if a parent is willing to do that, they don't care about your well-being. Here in America, especially in today's day and age, financial health and setting yourselves up for the future is so very important. And I see parents sabotage their children before they can even, grow up to have a fighting chance for themselves. And then they're just very dismissive, very callous about it, or they don't care. They feel entitled to it because they're your parent, and they feel like you shouldn't say anything, and so what? And they can just be very nasty about it. But if you do that to your child, you deserve to be in prison. First of all, because that there are some people that I know that have been stuck in their financial demise for years, or they can't ever get out of it just because so much was done. And that is someone's livelihood. That is someone's future. I mean, and it could have been potentially something that, would have been passed down for generations. So it could have been potentially generational wealth. But you have people that, are driven by greed, parents that are driven by greed. And if you've experienced this, with your parent, and you're still in contact with your parent, I would encourage you to take a closer look at that relationship. If if you haven't already, because sometimes we can just sort of be stuck in that, well, that's my mom or that's my dad, and I feel obligated to kind of, forgive them and take them back because that's my parents, right? You've been conditioned, right? To do that, and people oftentimes hear that, and there's often this family and societal pressure to honor thy mother and honor thy father and take them back and forgive them regardless. So I would encourage you to re-examine that. If you haven't tried therapy, definitely try therapy by yourself before you try it with someone who has made it their mission to steal from you and to harm you financially. And that's all I have to say for now.